All right. So, thank you for tuning in to my talk about juicing and, the benefits and effect that it did and had on me. I would like to say, just going in forward, like, this is not something that I was, I don't want to say excited about, more so nervous about. Um, and I want to tell you why I was nervous. So, I'm gonna first talk about how I juiced and why I did it this way. So how I juiced is Monday through Wednesday. I did not eat anything, no solid foods, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So that was the time frame that I gave myself. I did not do the 3 days no solid foods because personally that is something that is not healthy for my body. I am an active person. I am always working out on my feet, walking all the time. My body needs food. So I am not going to deprive myself from that need because it's essential for me. So I just wanted to throw that out there. There's different ways to juice, so please fit the one that, in research prior to doing a juice, please, and choose the best juicing option that fits your body. You don't want to walk into this. First advice, don't walk into this without knowing what you're doing. Okay? You will be learning as you go, but there are some things that you're going to need to know prior to beginning. So that's number one, research. Number two is plan. So you're gonna need a good bit of items, fruits, vegetables. So you want to plan your grocery list. You want to go to the grocery store. You want to actually write down, the different juices that you would choose in the different time periods. For example, I will put up at the end of this video, my set 3 juices that I had throughout the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. I think it's very important that you stick to a consistent juicing juices because you don't want to confuse your body and make it more challenging so that you cannot complete it. So for me, I stuck to a very concrete plan. I had a red juice in the morning for my breakfast, a protein shake for my lunch, and then I had an orange and green juice in the afternoon. And that is what I did for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday because that just worked for my body. I did have a protein shake because, with me doing a lot of lifting, I cannot deprive my muscles and my body from the protein that it does need. So lastly, that I will speak about, with my juicing is what did I do at 6 p.m. So at 6 p.m. I ate some almonds. I didn't dive into eating food. I ate some almonds, some water. I would drink about 50 fluid ounces of water prior to eating food. I did give myself a 30-minute break after eating my walnuts or almonds and water, 30-minute break, and then I had my dinner for the night. For me, I did not eat any snacks after dinner. I did not want to fill myself up and bloat and make it very hard for me to get up in the next morning. So I really portioned my food and I stuck to a very solid protein-based, vegetable-based dinner. So I did have some quinoa, sweet potato, spinach, and chicken on Tuesday, one of the nights. But the rest of the nights I just stuck to the quinoa, sweet potato, and beans or of some sort. So that is my juicing experience and how I did it. Now, how did it affect me? So let's go through the days, all right? So I will say the first day was my hardest day, as expected, right? Your body's somebody that eats a lot, like every 2 hours of the day, instantly stops. So that was my first, real challenge with my juicing because headaches came. By 10 o'clock, headaches were coming, and I was just like, I need water, I need water. But that also gave me an indication that, Giselle, maybe it might be time for you to get more water, a sip of your protein shake. And so, I did that, and it did help. So by 12 o'clock, I was ready to finish my protein shake and incorporate more water into my day. And the headache slowly went away, and I was still alert. So I was able to finish the day. I did have a headache, and I realized on the first day, like, I was like somewhere, and I was saying to myself, it's really honestly in my head. Like, my body knows that I should be eating right now. This is in my head. All right, Giselle, you cannot eat right now. Drink your juice. It's okay. I took some deep breaths, and I was able to keep going through the day, because that was the first lesson of the day. Like, essentially everything that you do, your reasons on why you can't do it start from your head. So if you can catch that negative thought in the beginning, it will shift the whole process and shift the whole outcome of the minutes to follow that. So that was my first lesson. The next day, Tuesday, was really surprisingly easy. It was like one of my easiest days, and it really did shock me, because I was just like, why am I okay with like not eating? Like, I wasn't hungry, I didn't have the headaches, I was like really hyper, full of energy, and I was just like, what is this? What's going on? And what I realized in that moment is I had committed to understanding that I'm going to do this. I made a commitment, and I was okay with it. So my body, it got along with the program. And that's in life. When you like experiencing, challenging situations, when you tell yourself this is where we are and we're just going to push through it, your body will adjust accordingly. Like, everything's in the mind, but if you get your mind on point, the body's going to adjust, and you can keep moving. I realized in that day that, I got people telling me, why you're not eating all day? Why you're not doing this? You're too skinny. Like, you're already fit. Blase, blase. I got all that. And I realized, like, at the end of the day, no matter what I do, I'm not going to make everybody happy. Like, I could be eating, and I'm still going to be too skinny for some people, or I'm going to be too fit for some people. So I made the choice, and I just realized right then, like, I don't care what they're saying. I have a commitment that I committed to, and I'm going to finish. And that's what's going to happen. And that's what you have to do. Block out that outside noise, because that's what's crowding you. Like, that's what's crowding your mind. Block it out, because that is what's going to make you lose your focus, okay? And then lastly, on the third day, which was another surprising thing for me, it was my hardest day. Like, I feel so bad. Like, I feel bad because, the career that I'm in, I have to do a lot of interacting. And by 10 o'clock, I was like, don't say a word to me. Like, I don't want to hear it. Let's just get through this day. And it's surprising because, where I came from the previous 2 days of understanding that, like, I'm committed to this. And then I had this instant shift of like, I just am over this. And though I did not give up, I kept going. I was just so frustrated all day and ready to be done with it. So that kind of like definitely disrupted and ruined the experience, because I'm like rushing through this, trying to eat, but I wasn't really focused on where I was in that moment. I wasn't present. And that's something I encourage, and I'm also still working on. There's definitely a lot of apps, definitely something that everyone should work on, and that is to become present. Because if you're not present in what you're doing, you're not fully there, then you're not there. And that affects people when, if you work in communications, if you work with students, if you work just with people interacting, not being present makes people feel unwanted. And you don't want to do that. Like, you don't want to make people feel like they're not valuable. Everybody is valuable. So, even though it was my last day, I do wish when I do this again that I am more attentive and I'm more focused. I did complete it, and I'm so happy that I did, because I realized in that moment my body was lacking sugar. So once I was able to drink my protein smoothie that had a banana in it, that provided my muscles and my body with the glucose that it needed and it was lacking, my mood shifted. But it's just that in that time period, it did not shift. And I was not present. So it helped me and it taught me that, Giselle, you have to be more present. And that's something I'm going to work on. You know, I definitely learned that, and I'm so grateful. And lastly, I'm going to wrap it up with, you know, my reflections. At the end of each night, I asked myself 5 reflection questions. And they were: how was your day? 1 word to describe your day. What was challenging about the day? How could the day have been better? And what are you appreciative for or thankful for in this day? And I just constantly answer those questions, and I encourage you, if you do decide to juice, to please research, plan, and please reflect. You don't want to do this for nothing. Write down the lessons that you learn. Write down the challenging moments. Write down the happy moments. No, not everything is challenging. There are happy moments, you know, but definitely be interactive in your own juicing experience and fast, because this is for you. And this is something that I plan to continue, and I want to encourage you to give it a try. It doesn't have to be 3 days. Some people do it for 1 day. Some people do it for a week. Some people do it for 20 days. Do it at your pace. And remember, when you challenge yourself, you're becoming your best self. You define your destiny.